Everyone thinks Christmas is about joy, family, and warm fuzzy feelings. But what if I told you it started as a drunken pagan festival where people got naked, flipped social classes, and maybe sacrificed a goat or two? Before Jesus, before Santa, before Mariah Carey slowly defrosted over November, there was Saturnalia, Yule, and a lot of very confused Romans. So grab your eggnog and maybe your therapist. Hold on to your sack, because this is the dark and wild history of Christmas. Ancient Rome, 2,000 years ago, where December wasn't about silent nights, it was about zero rules. The festival was called Saturnalia, honouring Saturn, the god of agriculture, and apparently the god of bad decisions too. For 1 week, everything was flipped upside down. Slaves became masters, and masters served their slaves. People wore insane outfits and gambled in public. They gave each other candles as gifts, like the ancient version of Secret Santa gone wrong. I got taught again! This festival happened right around December 25th. So when Christianity came along a few centuries later, the church took one look at the madness and said, yeah, alright, we'll take it. See, in those times, early Christians wanted everyone to stop worshipping the Roman gods, but they couldn't just cancel the biggest party of the year, so instead, they rebranded it. They declared December 25th, that's when Jesus was born, even though he probably wasn't. The Bible never says the date, and historians agree shepherds would not have had their flocks out in the middle of winter. But the marketing was genius. Pagan bonfires, now holy light. Feasting and drinking, fellowship. Sacrifices, turkey dinner? By the 5th century, Saturnalia was gone, replaced by Christmas, or rather absorbed by Christmas. Meanwhile, up in the frozen north, the Norse were celebrating Yule, 12 days of bonfires, beer, and Viking cheer. They'd burn giant logs to honour the sun and eat until they passed out, and they'd pray that Odin didn't swoop down with his ghost army and kidnap their souls. So yeah, that Yule log candle on your dinner table, it used to be part of a ritual sacrifice to keep a god from murdering you in your sleep. Now let's talk about the man, the myth, the jolly legend, Santa Claus! Santa? Well, he actually started as a 4th century bishop named Nicholas of Myra, a Robin Hood type guy who secretly left money for poor families by dropping gold bags through their windows. Of course, this made him a legend, the patron saint of children, sailors, and for some reason brewers. So, technically Santa's first brand deal was with beer?
Santa's Brewery.
Only $9.99.
Centuries later, the Dutch settlers brought tales of Sinterklaas to America. So over time, Sinterklaas became Santa Claus. And artists began to shape his image. A fur-clad traveller with a beard, a sleigh, and a suspicious obsession with chimneys. Then came the palm drop of 1823, a visit from St. Nicholas. And that's where we get the jolly fat guy, reindeer, and the whole he knows when you're sleeping vibe. Yeah, totally normal. Always watching.
What the fuck, nah.
And look at the tree with all the presents.
Yes, and then maybe we'll hear the pattering little feet.
But the Santa we know today, the red suit, the twinkle, the ho ho ho, he was born in 1931, not in the North Pole, in a Coca-Cola advertisement. Coke had hired an artist, Haddon Sunbloom, to paint a friendly, wholesome Santa for the winter adverts.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming.
And of course he wore Coca-Cola red, held Coca-Cola bottles, and smiled like he'd never heard of the dental decay. And it worked. This single marketing campaign locked in Santa's image worldwide. Before that, he was often drawn in green, brown, and even blue. But Coke's Red Santa, he won the multiverse. So yeah, the guy who used to give gold to the poor now sells Coke. Now, modern day Christmas, that's not exactly normal either. Around the world, things definitely get pretty creative. In Austria, there's the Krampus, a horned demon who literally beats naughty little kids with sticks. In Japan, Christmas dinner is KFC, because nothing says peace on earth like fighting someone for that last drumstick. In Iceland, there's a giant cat that eats people who do not get new clothes. And in Catalonia, they have a pooping log. It's called cagatio. They feed it snacks and beat it with sticks until it poops out presents. And don't even get me started on mistletoe. That romantic plant hanging at parties, yeah, it's an ancient fertility symbol. You know, you weren't supposed to kiss under it, you're supposed to fruitfully grow the population. Oh, and Christmas trees. They started in Germany as symbols of eternal life. But people used to decorate them with actual candles, which, you know, fun fact, the most beautiful fire hazard in history. So, after all this madness, pagan gods, rebranding, marketing, demons, and fried chicken, what are we really celebrating? I guess at its core, Christmas has always been about the same thing, finding warmth and joy when the world feels dark. Whatever you celebrate, just don't forget, it all started with one wild week of chaos, goat sacrifices, and a rebrand that could make any marketing team jealous.